What's up, YouTube? Back again with another video. So I've titled this one, How Porn Controls You, right? So I can't really see any other reason for porn other than a control mechanism. Yeah, there's people that profit off of it, but I think deep down, it's just a control mechanism that's coming from the evil in the world, right? So porn is probably the reason you're here. Most of you don't really have a problem with masturbation if it wasn't for porn. Porn is what makes you over masturbate, right? It's what makes masturbation a problem, okay? So always remember this quote. If it's free, you're the product, right? So how does this work? YouTube. Advertisers pay for digital real estate on YouTube because you are watching. YouTube is free for you, but they're profiting off of you watching, right? And then the creator who has the video gets paid through the advertisements being on his video. He's profiting. So we've got YouTube, the creator, and then if you click on the advertisement and buy their product, the advertiser are all profiting off of you. The only thing you actually purchased was the product on the advertisement. Everything else, you were the product. Porn is the same way. There's advertisements on the websites. That's digital real estate. They are getting paid for you spending time clicking, doing all this stuff. The content creators are getting paid for this as well, right? And some of y'all are paying for porn, which is like a double whammy. So as men, something that we all want is freedom. Deep down, we want freedom. Nobody tells me what to do. I do things on my own time. I do things where I want to do them. I do things how I want to do them. I live where I want to live. I have as much money so I can buy whatever I want to buy, right? It's freedom. That's a deep longing within all men. I think it's innate within us to want freedom, right? Especially if you're American, you've got the spirit of 1776 within you. So you're a big freedom person. Usually, Americans are big freedom people, right? So porn in and of itself puts chains and shackles on your mind. And your mind is where everything is created from. It's where everything starts. It's who you are, and it's what your life ends up being. Comes from your mind, right? So if you are thinking about porn, you're distracted. You're distracted from chasing freedom. You're distracted from working, trying to make money. You're not as creative when you're consuming porn. You're in consumption. If you're sitting down eating food and you're full of food, why would you go plant a garden? I got a fridge full of food and I just sat down and ate. Why would I go plant a garden? Why would I create something when I've already got everything I need, right? So this is what's happening on a sexual fundamental level. Your sexual energy is where your creativity begins. Think about it. You make a whole nother life with it. And this isn't just like, oh, a body grows inside the womb and gets born and then grows. No, you make another life. There's dudes out here like Elon Musk and Donald Trump who one sperm cell. That's all it was. That's how much creative energy is within you. You don't know who or what could come out of you if you just held on to that energy a little bit, right? Nikola Tesla was a lifetime celibate. He had like the most creations of anyone ever. And he really didn't get his credit until Elon Musk came around. Right? So you're not just creating with that energy. It's a waterfall cascading down. You're not just creating another life. You're creating another life which could go out like Elon and create PayPal and create an electric car and commercialize space travel. Now he's got Doge in the government. All these things. Trump is the same way. He created all this real estate, all these showbiz stuff, right? That all came from a man's ball sack. That's how much creative energy is in there. If you just hold on to it, you can tap into it a little bit more. If you're a musician, you'll create better music. If you make YouTube videos, you'll create better videos. If you don't have to be in some type of creative work. You could be at a normal labor job, blue collar, and maybe you just come up with a nice solution or a new way, a new process to do something that no one else considered, that's much more efficient. All because you retain. And because you did that, you separated yourself from all the other laborers and you got promoted first. You got a raise first. All because you held on to this energy. That's how this stuff rolls. So, the porn is meant to distract you, right? You can't create when you're distracted. You can't create when you're consuming. Why would you plant a garden when your belly and your pantry is full? You don't need to. You can just consume. Don't create anything new, right? This is a lot of what porn is doing to men. It's stifling men's creativity, and we're not producing as much here in America as we used to or as we should, especially men. Men are not producing like they used to. They're not creative like they used to be, right? You even see the music. Music is not as good as it used to be. Music doesn't have soul in it like it used to have. I got a friend, he's 23, and I'll put on, like some 80s music. And he'll laugh and be like, what is this, some 80s stuff? And he's never heard it before. And he'll listen to it, and he listens to what the young kids listen to, which is just like rave type music. And it's just brain damage. And the thing is he acknowledges that it's brain damage. He knows that it's brain damage, and he listens to it anyway. Degeneracy at the fullest extent. But it doesn't have the soul. His brother, who is my age, put on the Ballad of Curtis Lowe. And he said something about the song, and I was like, look, there's a story being told in the song. And he looked at me like a deer in the headlights. Like he did not know that there was a story being told. And I was like, dude, that's the point of music. It's storytelling. These guys are artists. They're telling a story through the form of song, right? And it's the Ballad of Curtis Lowe is a classic, and it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story. He painted a picture with words and melodies that you can see in your mind, right? So this was all Prince, one of the greatest artists ever. He did this. He was on this. He knew about retaining. Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest inventors ever. Lifetime celibate. This man never touched a woman. He never touched a woman, ever. Lifetime celibate. He did this. Elon Musk, you can find him. Look on the internet. Literally type in on YouTube, Elon Musk semen retention. And this dude will talk about it. He will talk about, he's older, so they're not on the same wavelength as younger folks like myself. But he'll still kind of talk about it, how like, yeah, it's actually very important that you don't do that. Steve Jobs, he was on the same stuff. So these men all knew this throughout history, that in order to create, I can't give up my sexual energy, right? It's where your creativity comes from. And as men, we have more creativity than women. This is why all these inventions came from men. This is why all the artwork that you see came from men. Go to art, like an old school art museum that's got paintings from the 1500s and stuff. It was men painting this stuff. Who was the dude? Da Vinci or whoever, Vincent van Gogh, that cut his ear off or whatever. Man, it was men that did this stuff. We have this creative energy within us that they're trying to rob us with porn. Porn is how they rob us of this creative energy. It controls all of that because everything starts in your mind. So as soon as you start thinking about porn, gone. You're distracted. You're not thinking about work. You're not thinking about that business. You're not thinking about writing that new song, that script for the video. You're not thinking about a new way, a new process that something could be done. Maybe you have an office job and you've got like a new process where you can eliminate 3 clicks on a computer and you can show everyone in the office how to do this one thing a little bit faster that'll make everything more efficient. Right? You can't do that. And when you do that, you build value in yourself. The boss sees it. He notices it. Right? Even if you come with new ideas that they shoot down, they notice that you're coming with new ideas and it makes you valuable. If you've got a blue collar job, maybe you came up with a new way to do this or that. They see that. Right? So you have to consider money is always moving. It's like a river. It's always flowing. And you get to cast a net and pull some money out. So while you're self-cucking, the dude who you are watching is profiting. And the men who built the platform are profiting. And now we got OnlyFans, so it could just be a solo woman profiting. A lot of times it is. It's just a woman profiting. And so you are giving up literal power. Money is power. You are giving up literal power to women. No wonder dudes are stepping away from dating. Blah, 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 blah. I see that all the time. The men are stepping away from dating and they're checking out. They don't even want to work. Like Gen Z, they don't want to work. They don't want to own cars. They don't want to date. None of this. I bet that they're all watching porn. They have no motivation. Because when I was in my younger years, 23, 24, I was getting real nihilistic. I was going to work and I was like, why am I doing this? I don't want to do this. And I still have this itching freedom inside of me, enough that my parents will like recommend places for me to travel to because they know that like I need to go out and be an unchained bucking bronco, right? They know that I need my freedom. They used to brag on how independent I was when I was younger because it was like I just need to do it this way. I just don't want help. That's all. And so a lot of these dudes ain't doing nothing because they're watching porn. They've given up. If you don't watch porn, that fighter comes back. That fight inside of you comes back where you say, you know what? Yeah, well, maybe it is harder today. I don't care. I'm going to fight harder. You know what? Maybe it is harder to earn money. I don't care. I'm going to fight harder. Right? What am I missing? It's harder to eat food. Fight harder. Harder to buy a house. Fight harder. Right? That's literally the default that your brain will go to. But if you don't, if you're jerking off and watching porn, your default becomes ease. And ease is stay out of the competition. Don't fight. Just don't compete. And I made a video about that. Life is competitive. And most men aren't even in the game. If you're in the game, you're like 50%, you're above 50% of the dudes, at least. Minimum. Because most of them ain't even in the game. I see it. Brother, I see it when I go to the gym. There's dudes, they ain't even in the game. There's girls in here. I see them. I know what's going on. These dudes ain't even in the game. They're not even trying. And there's a lot of dudes you can look at them and tell that they've given up on life. They're depressed. They're not even in the game. Right? So that's the whole point. Take the masculine drive to create. Take the masculine drive to do more. Bigger is better. More, more, more. That's how men are. We want more. We will go further. We will go faster. We will go longer as well. They showed this with animals, that animals with higher testosterone would forage, would move further and longer for food. Just because they had higher testosterone levels. They would literally just try harder to find food. All because they want to reproduce. And it's like, well, that's what I have to do. I have to go further. I have to go farther. And I have to go faster. I have to go longer. All of it. Men are not doing that. So you can't focus on work when you're watching porn. I know this. I've been that way. I've had an office job where I've jerked off, watched porn the night before, went to work. I started getting hit in my mind. I started getting hit with cravings, and I'm like, whoa, hold on, what? What is going on? I'm at work. I'm in public. And it feels weird. You're like, why am I having these thoughts? It's the intrusive thoughts that you can't control. They just come in. You can't stop it from coming in, right? You can see it, and you can say yes or no, but you can't really stop it from coming in when you already opened the door. You opened the door the night before, and it's coming back. It's coming back for that ass. So you're less productive. Someone else outperforms you. So porn acts like an opiate in your brain. The way that it acts on your brain, your body, everything. An ejaculation, man, do all the research yourself, but an ejaculation is taxing on mammals. Like the organism itself, all mammals, they have shown it's taxing and it shortens the lifespan. So one thing, like, right, porn feminizes men. Porn feminizes men, and when you ejaculate, you are more feminine than you were before you ejaculated. You watch, and it ages you. It ages you faster. So you consume porn and ejaculate. You do this for several years. Now, you're in your 20s. Now you're worried about your hairline instead of work. You're concerned that you're losing your hair. All because it started with porn. But the porn was keeping you distracted from work in the first place. And if you would have not worried about the porn and been working, you'd have more money today. So your hairline was receding, you got enough money to get it fixed. You can get a hair transplant. But since you were consuming porn, you don't have enough money because you weren't working hard enough. You didn't find that second stream of income, that third stream, right? Now you're worried about your hair falling out instead of money. So now you're concerned with porn and your hair falling out instead of money. It's all feminizing you. You're sitting around looking in the mirror at your hair. Oh, God. Oh, no, dude. No, dude. The hair. Hey, man, decisions were made. Those hair follicles are gone. You better let them go. It is what it is. You need to move on, carry on. Understand that you made mistakes and move forward. But this is what happens. Maybe your skin starts wrinkling. I got friends that are my age that don't look my age. They look several years older. People always think I'm younger than what I am. My brother, too, he's 2 years older than me. He said people always think he's younger than what he is and stuff. This is how it distracts you. It rolls downhill. It's not just in the one way. Nothing is ever just in the one way. There's always more ways that it affects your life that you just can't see. Porn keeps you from getting into relationships. Makes you afraid of women. You got guilt and shame. Or you're just afraid. You got anxiety, depression, right? Maybe girls just don't like you because you got weird vibes. You got bad vibes. I read a study where they studied mice, and females were more receptive and responded more positively to male mice that had higher testosterone compared to lower testosterone, right? They were more hostile to male mice with lower testosterone. The thing about it is you're disgusting to women when you ejaculate all the time. You're repulsive. They're like, ugh, get away from me. This is why all these dudes that are like, I'm ugly, so girls call me a creep. Nah, bro, your energy is off. Because I've seen ugly dudes have girls staring at them in the bar. They're ugly dudes with a lot of energy, really outgoing, and the girls don't care. We all know about the fat, funny guy gets the hot girl. Come on, man. So it keeps you out of relationships. The right woman, if she's the right woman, you'll start earning more money. It'll increase your work ethic. You're going to want to work for her. You're going to be like, yeah, let me make sure I keep this one. Let me work hard. I want to give her the world. Right? So all of this is controlling you. And no matter what anyone says, it comes down to money. Money is the baseline of how you find freedom. That's it. Now you can have mental freedom. I've been meditating for 6 years. So I understand there's different types of freedom. I got a lot of mental freedom. I can say things in public around people I don't know that, man, people think I'm insane. I get called crazy all the time. That's actually a legitimate fact, is people that meet me constantly that don't know me and they start to get to know me call me crazy. People that don't know me, I meet them one time and I'll never see them again, will call me crazy. It is what it is. That dude is crazy. Sure. Fine. I understand that aspect of freedom. But money gives a lot of freedom. So don't come at me with this, money doesn't buy happiness. I know, bro. I know. I've been there. I made a lot of money. I've been terribly unhappy. Terribly unhappy. But, yeah, that's it, fellas. Thanks for being here. Go ahead and subscribe. Like the video. Comment anything that you think. Have a good one.